And there's no way in hell I'm wearing that when it's like 80 plus, right? Like I have, and it sucks. I've never worn full leathers, but I know their balls are sweating underneath those full leathers in 80, 90 degrees, right? Okay, so I think season of fall is arguably the best season for motorcycle riding. Now, before you click away or start typing in the comments some bullshit, let me give you my reasons and then you can do all that, okay? So I'm not gonna waste any time. Reason number one, plain and simple, the temperature is by far the best, okay? Now, what do I mean, all right? It's not too hot and it's not too cold. I think it's just as simple as that, okay? Summertime, 80s, 90s, 100s, you know, that is like miserable. 80s not bad, but when you get into like the 90s, that shit sucks, okay? The temperature's too hot, you're sweating. If you sit in any sort of traffic, if you are in a city or a town that has traffic and you have to sit for a little bit, you know the pain I'm talking about, okay? Especially if you have a black motorcycle like this too. And then on the opposite side, you know, riding in early spring or in early winter, when you get down into like the 40 degrees ish, you know, 30s, it starts to kind of just suck because you have to put on too much stuff, it seems like, right? And it's just a little bit unbearable to ride in, okay? And again, even in the spring, early spring, when the weather starts to warm up, you know, you got to deal with all the rain that comes along with it, right? So that's just my first reason. Plain and simple, temperatures are the best. Ideally, between the broad range of like 50 to 70, okay? But more specifically, probably around like that 60 range, like 60-ish, down into like the high 50s, and then maybe a little bit into the high 60s. Right, so that's reason number one. Okay, reason number two, this one's gonna be kind of controversial, I think, but reason number two is because in the fall with the weather, you are naturally going to be wearing more gear. And for my situation, that's beneficial to me. And that's why I loved riding in it so much. Sorry, I'm trying to focus up. I don't want this bus to turn out on me. So, what I mean by this is that you can see it's starting to be fall. We're getting into fall weather. I'm wearing a sweatshirt, thick sweatshirt, and long sweatpants, okay? So whether or not I decide to actually put on my real gear or not, I'm naturally wearing more gear than I am in the summer, right? And so that kind of makes me feel a little bit more comfortable when I'm riding. Like, I think I've said it before, like when I do ride with shorts and short sleeves on in the summer when it's, you know, 90, but I still like, part of me still feels very concerned when I'm riding like that. I feel naked, you know, and I know that if I go down, it's going to be a very, very unfortunate day for me. Okay, and so like when I get to ride in this fall weather, it's kind of comforting, you know, having this slight bit more protection. I know that, you know, a sweatshirt or sweatpants is not going to last long if you go down at any speed on the gravel or on the concrete, right? We all know that's getting burned up real quick and then your skin's next. But nonetheless, it makes me feel more comfortable. And on top of that, I think that it becomes much more reasonable for you to wear your actual gear, right? So I have like a textile jacket thing, right? And there's no way in hell I'm wearing that when it's like 80 plus, right? Like I have, and it sucks. That shit sucks. And so when it's fall weather, you know, in that 50 to 70 range, I'm more comfortable just wearing that because it's comfortable, you know? It's like just putting on a sweatshirt, right? And so that is another aspect of it. You know, you can reasonably wear your gear. You know, nobody likes going out in full leathers. I've never worn full leathers, but I know their balls are sweating underneath those full leathers in 80, 90 degrees, right? So that's reason number two. And then reason number three, the final reason, okay? Keeping it short and simple, 3 reasons. And this may apply more to just Iowa or the Midwest as a whole, as does this whole video, because hell, California has much different seasons than the Midwest. But reason number 3 is that I think fall is just probably the most aesthetically pleasing season of all. Okay? All the colors are there. You have beautiful ranges of colors, greens all the way down to oranges, reds. Okay? Fall is just beautiful, man. If you have never been to the Midwest during the fall season, where the leaves are starting to come off the trees and everything, you got to experience it for yourself to know. The fall mornings where it's brisk, 50 degrees, down into the 40s, and you just get this beautiful scenic view of the trees as you're driving down the road, all these different colors, different smells too. You know, the smell is another factor, but mainly I'm talking about the way everything looks. And that is kind of important to me when I'm riding my motorcycle, right? When I'm riding in like the, you know, dead winter, not dead winter, but coming into the winter when it's 30 something degrees and there's just nothing going on, it's just white, you know, it's just dead, dry, it's always cloudy. You know, at least in the fall you still get a bit of that sunshine, right? You get a bit of that sunshine, and then you get that, you know, that as well as all these colors from the trees. It is just beautiful, man. And so that one is a little bit more opinionated myself, but in the summer, you know, it's just sun. It's just sun, right? It's a lot of it, and it's hot and it's sweaty and it sucks most of the time, right? I'm not downplaying the beauty of summer. You know, summer is nice, especially like when I was in Chicago in the summer, man. That pretty good views, you know, nice and sunny all the time. But anyways, I should really just go through and sneak by this car, but I'm not gonna do that. Alright, so those have been my 3 reasons on why I personally, keyword, I personally think that fall is by far the best season to ride motorcycles, and I am ecstatic about this upcoming fall. It's just starting to get into that weather, the perfectness of it all. So let me know what you think. If you got a different opinion, if you think the summer's better, you're probably psycho, but nah, I'm just playing. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, right? So let me know what you guys think. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I will see you later. Peace. Always have to spin it because it's on kind of an angle. I got to get it right. I'm always scared that the bike's going to go the other way from the kickstand. We do not like that. We do not like that.